Rosenbaum.
Go.
Ready?
Is it going? It is? Do you want me to go now?
Yes.
Okay.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Just gonna put that in there. Is my hair okay first?
Let me see if I look good.
Tell him, Daddy.
There are strange things done in the midnight sun.
There are strange things done in the midnight sun.
There are strange things done in the midnight sun.
There are strange things done in the midnight sun.
There are strange things done in the midnight sun by the men who moil for gold.
Who moils for gold? I don't know what that means.
The Arctic trails tell their secret tells. Let's cut it.
The Arctic trails tell of midnight tales. I don't know. That's all I know.
Yeah, I need paragraph.
The Arctic trails have their secret tales that'll make your blood run cold.
The northern lights have seen queer sights, but the queerest they ever did see was the night on the marge of Lake LaBarge. I cremated Sam Magee.
Now, Sam Magee was from Tennessee, where the cotton bloomed and blowed. Why he left his home in the south to roam, God only knows.
Let me just tell you in layman's terms, all right? So it's about this man and this other man. One's from Tennessee.
He was always old and cold.
Man is cold and he's whiny. And he's whining to his friend.
He was only cold, but the land of gold seemed to him like a spell, though he often said in his homely way that he would sooner live in hell.
He would rather live in hell.
I can't. And on Christmas Day.
So on Christmas Day, he made a wish, one that I had to fulfill. He said,
Don't do that on camera.
on a Christmas Day, we were mushing our way on the over the Dawson Trail. Taco your coal through the parka's fold, it stabbed like a driven nail.
If our eyes were closed, then the lashes froze, till sometimes we couldn't see. It wasn't much fun, but the only one to whimper was Sam Magee. And that very night we lay packed tight in our robes beneath the snow. The dogs were fed and the stars overhead were dancing heel and toe.
And said, Cap, I think I'll cash in this trip, and I'm asking that you honor my last request. And he said,
Hey, can you be a pal? If I die, you promised to cremate me. And I said I would.
Well, he seemed so slow I couldn't say no. Then he said with sort of a moan, It's the cursed cold, and it's got right hold till I'm choking through the bone.
a pal is a thing to heed, so I swore I would not fail. And we started on at the streak of dawn, but God, he looked ghostly pale.
He crouched on the sleigh and he raved all day of his home in Tennessee. And before nightfall, a corpse was all that was left of Sam Magee.
A promise made is a debt unpaid. And when I woke, Sam was frozen as hell. Promise made.
But a promise made is a debt unpaid. And I found a boat on the lake.
He puts him on his sled and he drives him back and he's disgusted by the dead guy's body.
And I tied him to my sleigh, that lump of clay, and I dragged him to and fro. And I cursed that hunk of clay because he was heavy.
I strapped him to my sleigh and made my way in the snow, cursing myself for making this promise, but a promise made is a debt unpaid.
I came to the marge of Lake LaBarge, a derelict there lay, It was jammed in the ice, but I saw it in a thrice, and it was called the Alice May.
There's my crematorium.
Gets him to this shack on the ice, and he can't fit the body through the door. Tries to saw off his arms and legs.
Some planks I tore from the cabin floor and I lit the broiler fire. Some coals I found that was laying around and I heaped the fuel higher.
So that happened in this story? Or was that the other dead guy's story? Because Grandpa told 2 dead guy stories.
The flames just soared and the furnace roared, such a blaze you seldom see. Then I burrowed a hole in the glowing coal, and I stuffed in Sam Magee.
And then I decided to take a hike because I did not like to hear it sizzle so.
I was sick with dread, but I bravely said, I'll just take a peep inside. I guess he's cooked, and it's time I looked. Then the door I opened wide. And there sat Sam looking cool and calm in the heart of furnace roar. And he wore a smile, you could see a mile, and he said,
Close the door, I'm freezing. This is the first time I've been warm since I left my home in Tennessee.
And he said, please close the door. I fear you will let in the cold.
There and said, do close the door. This is the, I'm afraid you'll let in the storm. This is the warmest I've been for some time.
Said, dang Gina, what'd you do to your hair?
There are strange things done in the midnight sun by the men who moil
Moil
for
for
gold.
gold.
The Arctic trails have their
Pirates.
secret tales that would make your blood run cold. Northern lights have seen queer sights, but the queerest they ever did see was that night on the marge of Lake Boulevard. I cremated Sam Magee.
I cremated Sam Magee.
I cremated Sam Magee. I cremated Sam Magee.
I cremated Sam Magee.
I cremated Sam Magee. Clap for me.
Are you turning it off now? Are you still rolling it? Turn it off. Turn it. It won't turn off.
Oh, come on, boy.
No, don't. You're embarrassing
Why
me.
he left his home.
No, Dad.